Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Hello agents, and welcome to episode 37 of the Ingress Insights podcast. In this week's episode we'll be going over the Buried Memories bonus week that's already started, the Q3 mission days, and a possible fix to scanning coming up. I'll apologise as well for this podcast being a bit late. I was basically ill in bed all yesterday, but it will now be back to usual from here. So I'll start in by moving and covering the last bits of the Anomaly season with the Buried Memories bonus week. As was mentioned at the start of the Buried Memories Anomaly season, we are now in the Buried Memories bonus week, so this runs from Friday the 21st of June to Monday the 1st of July at 4 PM UTC. For this, all actions will yield 1.331 times AP, and hacks on friendly ports will yield 1.331 times amount of gear. This is very handy if you're, like myself, re-leveling up after recursing and getting all the extra AP. It does count for the extra 1.331 multiplier on any bounties AP earned, so that's a nice little earner there for 7,000 AP times 1.331 that I'm not going to bother to work out at the minute, but it is a nice little extra to have. As said, that runs until the Monday 1st of July. I want to mention as well, there are a few badges that are available until the 30th of July, so by the time this to the next week of this podcast it may be too late to pick those up. So that's the loadout kits with Jahan 2024, Jack Norman 2024 and the Buried Memories supporter medal kit, as well as the older ones that got reactivated. I'm assuming they'll also be around till the 30th of June, but nothing was said on those older badges coming back to the store. And the Father's Day medal also leaves the store on the 29th of June. So it's your last week to pick up some of those medals if you do want them, because we don't know when they'll come back around for the old medals, if they will, and it's obviously unlikely the Buried Memories loadout kits will come back around anytime soon. So if you do want those, go to the store and pick them up. On the 18th of June, the Ingress team did announce the 2024 Q3 mission days. So these are running from the 6th of July. So we start with Lipa City, Batangas in the Philippines on the 6th of July. The 7th of July is Schenectady in New York in the United States. 13th of July is in Cambridge in the UK. The 27th of July is in Konstanz, Germany, or Kreslingen in Switzerland, if I've said that right. And then you've got Echu Yatsuo in Toyama in Japan, which is the 10th of August. The Anomaly Mission Day in Singapore for the Anomaly on the 18th, followed by the one in Rotterdam on the same day in Netherlands for the Anomaly there. And you've got Appleton, WI in the United States. That's on the 24th of August. Then you've got the 31st of August in Connect, Peru. The 7th of September brings us one in Johor Bahru in Malaysia. And also on the 7th of September, there's one in Dessau Roeblau in Germany. The 14th of September, we've got one in Edinburgh in the UK. Again, on the 14th of September, there's one in Bentonville, AR, United States. The 22nd of September brings us the Anomaly ones, so the one in Hakodate in Japan and the one in Seattle in the United States. And then rounding off the Q3 mission days, all on the 28th of September, there's one in Dalsio, South Korea. A mission day light in Riva S Vital in Switzerland, and then the final mission day is one in Annapolis in MD in the United States. So if you are looking to get to a mission day, those are all your ones for Q3. Hopefully this means the Q3 event announcements aren't far off, and we should have those soon, and once we do, I'll share them on here. One update about something upcoming for Ingress came via the Ingress subreddit this week. So a user had posted up a thread saying they could not scan, and they got a response from Brian Rose from Niantic, and he noted that our Lightship team is working with us to upgrade the version of Lightship ARDK we're on, which should update our list of supported devices to match Pokemon Go. So if you're able to scan Pokestops there, then you should be able to scan portals using Ingress soon. And this will expand the mainly Android devices that can't scan, that could previously scan. So you're best checking if you have a Pokemon Go account at the relevant level. If you can scan in there and can't scan in Ingress, then a future update will enable you to scan again in Ingress and get things like Scout Controller, Do Overclock, things like that. So hopefully that'll be a good thing for anyone that's been unable to scan and is waiting for that. We don't have an exact date on when that will happen, but hopefully at some point soon. If you listened to the previous episode with Asim from the Peridot team on, you have heard about how they're looking to think about the next experiences and how that can be done with AR glasses and head-mounted displays. There's a recent blog post on the Niantic Labs website where they talk about building the next generation map at Niantic. So I just wanted to mention that on here. So they noted at AWE, Niantic introduced a new free-to-use web-based visual platform, Niantic Studio, enabling developers, creators and brands to quickly build fully immersive XR experiences, leveraging the ubiquity of the web across virtually any device. And they also shared an update to Scaniverse and talked about Hello Dots, which I mentioned, and also Skatrix Pro, which I haven't mentioned on here, but I am aware of, being Rodney Mullen's AR game project with Niantic. It's alright from what I've tried. It may be better doing it on Apple Vision Pro, but I'm way far off affording one of those. It's not in my budget at the moment, so I won't get to experience it as yet. But they're talking about spatial computing getting a new map and updating on there. So you can see that they mention VPS being at the core of the map, which Ingress agents contribute to by scanning and submitting scans on there of portals. So it's something they're looking to do and looking to share further updates on. They mentioned that in the second half of 2024 they'll release new updates to Scaniverse, Niantic Studio, VPS and our map, as well as new content and tools. So they're keen to move into obviously AR and spatial computing. So expect to hear more about that in the coming weeks, and we'll see how that goes. Before we move into the feature section, I just want to muse for a bit on what might be coming up in Q3. So we get all the usual things like first Saturday mission days have already been announced. Second Saturdays, which might be changing depending on how that goes. Obviously, Niantic have said that will change for some time, and it hasn't yet. But now that the bounty system seems to be working, that may be another way of doing second Sundays. It's something people suspect may happen. Nothing's concrete. They may just say that they'll do it again, and we'll wait for Q4 to come around on there. For the shared memories global op that we'll probably get, I don't know what they'll do for that one. I imagine it might be something like kinetic capsules. It's been a little while since we've had a focus on those, and we'll have maybe some bonuses on reducing those down for level 8 week, which we normally get happening in August, so it'll allow people a chance to do lots of kinetic capsules. But that's all my thoughts really. I'd love to know what you think might be coming up in Q3 as well.
Hey, this is Sim, Global Product Marketing Lead for Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
This week's feature is something I want to cover that Niantic tried but didn't really land for Ingress for a variety of reasons. So this was the Niantic Community Day, and what that was in all of their games, so Ingress, Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom at the time, and I think Harry Potter was Unite for a little bit, all had their community days on the same day. So they were doing something special through all the games, and they also had tents and things like that in certain locations. For Ingress, they counted that our community day was first Saturday, so it meant it wasn't always necessarily on the same day as some of the Pokemon Go events, things like that, because they might have happened on Sundays. Though they did note about one in April 2022, so I'll just go through that. So they put agents on Saturday 23rd April 2022 Niantic Community Day will take place around all the world across all of our Niantic games, and we invite you to attend in person to meet fellow agents, explore an event near you. Don't forget to visit unique temporary Niantic Community Day portals that will be activated for the event. Take advantage of the event's photo ops and share your memories with us on social media using hashtag Ingress Earth Day and hashtag Meet You Out There. So they provide a list of in-person events for that. And additionally, Jacksonville FL USA will feature the following special activations. On Saturday 23rd April, NL1331X meetup at the landing park. And that was open to all agents and no RSVP required. And separately, Niantic CEO John Hankey will be speaking at Sandlock Jacks, which was a paid-ticketed event hosted by GoRuck. And on Sunday, 24th of April, there was the Jacksonville Mission Day, which was open to all agents. This came around the time of the new kinetic capsules being enabled for Earth Day 2022 as well. So agents were able to participate in that kind of a way if they weren't able to participate in person. I'm not going to run through all of those kinetic capsule programs because even though they happened at the same kind of time, they weren't linked to Niantic Community Day. If I might cover Earth Day in a future feature section, but the overall feeling for Niantic Community Day was that Ingress was very left out. Some agents attended in person and the contractors, outsourced people, whoever they were, didn't know what Ingress was at the start. It was fed back to people like Thea and Brian and promised it would improve and get better, and unfortunately it didn't, and it just fizzled out to just become a Pokemon Go and a Pikmin Bloom event. Even now, there's still the Niantic Community Day website, which is community.day. Previously, you could go to the events tab and then see all the events there. It's still accessible, but no longer clickable from the main website. But they stopped updating the events back in June, and it took them a long time to add anything in for Ingress as well. Unfortunately, it was a good idea, but poorly implemented. I'd like to think it's something they'll try again in future and maybe put a bit more behind Ingress. First Saturday works fine as a community day for getting out there and meeting people, but I think we'd also benefit from a focused day around an item or a character of lore, something like that. So if it was, I don't know, a heat sink community day where you got extra hacks from heat sinks, or you got more bonuses if there were more agents in the area that hacked that portal to encourage the community to come out. As I said, I don't have a perfect plan for it, just suggestions, and it's something I hope they'll trial again and see if they can get right in future. That being said, I'll provide all the show note links if you want to read about the mess of community day as far as agents are concerned, and then get things wrapped up for you now. Thank you, agents, for listening to episode 37 of the Ingress Insights podcast. Hopefully my cold hasn't affected the audio quality too much, but I should be back on my feet again for the next podcast. In the next one, we should hopefully have the Q3 event schedule out to go through, and I'd suspect details about the Shard Memories Global Op, as well as probably another app update to cover as well. And then there'll be another Inverse Insights coming up in July at some point, so hopefully you listen to that as well. For now, I hope you're feeling much better than I am, and have a great Sunday, and happy hacking, agents.